We're gonna start reviewing some movies. We talk some shit in between.
That's fine.
Gladiator, people, talking about it. We're gonna spoil it. We're gonna spoil it for my man down here, Sir Sturdy. Only for him. If you're still watching or listening, thank you for you too. But we're gonna get into this one. So this is the long awaited. Was this awaited? Was this called for? Like I remember rumblings of it in like 2003 or 4 or whatever. It was like, yeah, they're gonna bring him back to life. I was like, that would sully the first one because that first one is a goddamn masterpiece.
Yeah,
hands down. And so when I heard they were making this, and then I saw the trailer, I was like, all right. And Denzel's in it, and Denzel adds credence to everything, in my opinion. So I was excited. I was ready to go. And this tells the story of, okay, so just to kind of spoil it for you guys, Paul Mescal, whom I'm going to trash the character in this a bit, but I want you guys to know I think Paul Mescal is a good actor. And I think he did good in the role. I think he was directed poorly in this. I don't think this was him. I think this was the character that was put forth to him, and he did the best with what he got. Because I've seen him in other stuff, and he's a good actor. And I call that the Robin Pattinson rule. Robert Pattinson. Like you have to at least like Robert Pattinson's good now. People are like on his side now, but for a long time, you'd be like, no. He's really good in it. Like don't talk about the Twilight. He's really good. Like, so like Paul Mescal, like yeah. I like him, and I like to see where like his career is going and stuff. And I like what he put into this. It was just a really poorly done character with not a lot of depth. Like that Maximus, they built the lore of Maximus in front of our eyes, and it still sticks to this movie. It made you feel chills. You're just like, yeah, Maximus was the best. And it's just like, but what are you? You're just an angry dude. You're not a great general. You're not outsmarted. You're just an angry dude. And you're an angry, like, okay. All right. Before we get there. So anyway, just so you guys got to have the background of it. He plays the young boy, the queen's or whatever, the princess's, Connie Nielsen's character in the first one. Her son had gone to hiding after Commodus died. I don't know why. I don't know why he would, like, they wouldn't train him. All right. Anyway, but whatever. They had to go into hiding or whatever. They kind of explain it. It's not like it's just half-assed in my opinion. And then he grows up in Numidia, I think it is, and he's married to this other woman. They're both warriors in this in Numidia, and they have to fight this battle against Rome that's coming. And here's where it gets, and so like he gets captured and ends up becoming a gladiator, and then like you find out he's this ruined it for me. And actually I'm really mad at Ridley Scott for this one. And I'm gonna ruin it for you guys because I hope I do, because this is the stupidest fucking part of the whole movie. Is they made that kid from the first one Maximus's son, saying that it happened years before he was married or whatever. And first of all, it doesn't work because his son was around the same age as that kid, roughly, maybe even a little bit. It just doesn't work. And regardless, the whole movie and the dedication he put into the revenge of that first one, you completely undid it by doing this. And it pisses me off because you could have literally left it as this guy saw Maximus as a kid and was inspired by him. And when he ran away, now that he's back and he's a gladiator too, he's calling upon Maximus and his mother knowing Maximus. You could have done a lot with this, and you had to do that stupid Hollywood bullshit connection of making him a fucking kid. This might go down at a point for me because I'm really mad about this. But regardless of all of that, before I've been talking and not letting Paul talk, and I want to get into that part. I will say Denzel was great. The fights were great. Very thrilling action. A lot of fun stuff. It's a really fun gladiator movie. It just sucks compared to the first one I was trying to get connected to. Paul, please proceed. I'm so sorry.
I absolutely agree. Yeah, compared to the first one, I mean, you set the caliber way too high. You know, they made that first one a fine wine. This one, you know, it's still beers. It's still going to get you there, but it's not Gladiator 1. I always thought that was his son after the first one. I'm not gonna lie, like with some of their dialogue, so like that wasn't a surprise for me. That didn't ruin it, but it did kind of ruin from the first story them admitting it, I guess, if you will. So I do understand that, but I always thought that just for how they interacted and were like, we used to be together. I was like, Y'all just be fucking in Rome and shit all the time. Oh.
They never, but in the first one, they never alluded to it. The only reason he said, and they used it in the second one, Lucius is safe, is because that was a part of their whole conspiracy plan to take out, when it turns on him. And then he finally kills him, and he's like, Lucius is safe. Like, your biggest worry was your son, and he's safe now. So then, again, negating, once we get to this one, and they're showing you, we have to rush him off and put him into hiding. Why? His biggest threat is gone. And all the senators are on your side. They're not going to vie for power. Like, okay, I understand. Like, I don't know. It just seems stupid. It really did.
I wish they had just renamed, not done Gladiator 2. I wish they had just made it a Gladiator movie with a different title, because I think it would have done better for me personally. Because I couldn't help but compare it so much to the first one. I mean, Denzel was outstanding. Pedro was as good as he could be. You could tell he was, was held back by either the script or director or whatever was going on. But it wasn't his best performance I've seen. But the fights were real good. It was, the new elements of adding the water to the Coliseum to be seen on film was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that. But I mean, overall, you already know my rating. It's kind of a run of the mill. Like, you guys, if you want to stream this at home, I think that's fine. I don't think you need to see this in IMAX or in the theater. It was just kind of right down the middle for me.
Yeah, so 2.5. That's a solid rating. I gave it a 3. I did think it was pretty thrilling, and it was the fight scenes were really good, and I really enjoyed that fight scene between Denzel and whatever that was name, Lucius. I'm just calling him straight up Denzel. And Paul Mescal at the end of it. Well done, and the story was pretty good. I actually did enjoy the complexities of the story of this.
Okay.
I just didn't like the tie-in to the first one, the way they did it. I didn't think you needed it that much. I think that was really done just to kind of add a connection and keep the mom in play, whereas you could have just kept her in play anyway. It's her son. Like Jesus. It was so, yeah, it kind of hit me on that. But was it Numericia or Numerica? I can't remember how they pronounce it, but it's the water battle in the thing. And they make it this thrilling thing with sharks and everything like that. And I'm just like, you jumped the shark here in an insane way. This is asinine how much you've jumped the shark here. First of all, in the old days, it was filled up with like 5 feet of water. They did it once, and like they did but it was like kind of like a boom, like that sort of thing, and then getting on each other's boat and killing each other. But like, and then after that, the Roman emperor was like, nah, not again, man. This is too much. Like 100,000 gallons of water in there or something. They looked like it was the sea. You're in Rome, dude. What are you talking about? Anyway, yeah, and the sharks just killed me. When the sharks showed up, I was just like, come on. I was like, that first movie with the tigers, and Tigress, who is an actual gladiator. An actual gladiator. And you're gonna replace it with something that happened once. And sharks? Come on, Ridley. Anyway, that pissed me off, and I loved it. All right, let's get to the next one. That was our review of this stupid movie. Lena, let's talk about the next one. It was Conclave.